Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Mia. Today we're going to talk about something we've all been through or will go through at some point the very first day at a new job.
Just saying those words makes me flash back to so many awkward moments. Sweaty palms, overthinking what to wear, getting lost in a building, saying the wrong thing, all of it.
Exactly. And it's such a roller coaster, right? You're excited because you actually landed the job, but you're also nervous because you don't know the people, the culture, or the unwritten rules.
It's such a universal experience. No matter if you're a lawyer, a teacher, an engineer, or working retail, everyone has that mix of excitement and nerves on day one.
That's why we thought this deserves a deep conversation. We'll walk through the whole experience step by step, from the night before, to walking into the office, to small talk at lunch, to awkward mistakes, to surviving that first week.
And of course, we'll share plenty of personal stories. Some embarrassing, some funny, some heartwarming. Because let's be honest, nobody's first day is perfect.
Exactly. In fact, I'd say the imperfections are what make first days memorable.
Couldn't agree more. So let's start right at the beginning. The night before.
Oh, the night before a new job. That's when you want to sleep early. But your brain has other plans.
Yep, you lie in bed thinking, what should I wear? What time should I leave? What if I get stuck in traffic? What if I say something dumb?
I remember before my very first job, I literally laid out 3 different outfits on my chair just in case I changed my mind in the morning.
Haha, me too. I once even shined my shoes at midnight, like I was going to meet the queen.
That's the thing. You want to make a good impression, but sometimes we overdo it.
Totally. And then comes the alarm clock paranoia. You set 3 alarms just in case.
Oh, yes. And you keep waking up every hour to check the time, so by morning you're already exhausted.
Exactly. Then the morning comes and you're up earlier than you've been in months. You're double-checking your clothes, rehearsing your introduction in the mirror.
Hi, I'm Mia. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Mia. Nice to meet you over and over again until it doesn't even sound like English anymore.
And then there's breakfast. Big dilemma. Do you eat a full meal so you don't get hungry? Or just something small so you don't feel heavy?
I once skipped breakfast because I was too nervous, and in the middle of a super quiet meeting, my stomach growled so loudly that everyone turned their heads.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I just laughed and said, well, guess I should have eaten. It became my icebreaker.
That's a good point. Sometimes our little mistakes end up helping us connect with people.
Then comes the commute. And of course, you leave way earlier than you need to because you're terrified of being late.
Which means you arrive 30 minutes early and then what? Do you sit outside? Do you go in?
I once circled the block twice before going inside because I didn't want to look over-eager.
Ha ha ha! I did the exact same thing. I stood outside pretending to scroll on my phone until it felt like the right time.
That awkward in-between moment, it's universal.
Okay, so you finally walk in. And this is where the first impression really starts.
Greetings are so important. My rule is always start a little more formal. Say good morning or "Hello, nice to meet you." Later, once you get to know people, you can relax into "Hey" or "What's up?"
Yes, and body language matters too. Stand tall, smile, make eye contact, and if it's the culture, shake hands. But don't overdo it. No need to shake hands with the entire office like you're running for mayor.
Haha, exactly. A smile and a polite greeting go a long way.
Then comes the dreaded introductions. You have to say your name and your role. It sounds simple, but when you're nervous, it's so easy to trip up.
I once said, "Hi, I'm Mia. I do the thing with the, communications." Not my smoothest moment.
Haha, I once forgot my own title and said, "Hi, I'm Alex. Projects." People chuckled, but it broke the ice.
See, that's the thing. People don't expect you to be perfect. They know you're nervous. What matters is that you come across approachable and eager.
Exactly. Enthusiasm is contagious. If you show you're happy to be there, people will warm up to you.
But here's the underrated skill on day one: observing.
Oh yes, observing the culture is everything. Handbooks tell you the rules, but culture tells you the reality.
Like, do people dress super formal or is it casual Fridays every day? Do they send emails for everything or do they just walk over to talk? Do people eat lunch at their desks or together in the cafeteria?
In one of my jobs, everyone left at 5 sharp. In another, people stayed late without being asked. Nobody told me directly. It was just something I picked up by watching.
Same here. At one place, everyone had a 10 a.m. coffee ritual. If you skipped it, you missed out on bonding.
That's why the smartest thing you can do on day one is observe first, act second.
Yes, don't try to change anything yet, just learn the vibe.
Okay, let's run through some quick do's and don'ts for our listeners.
Do. Arrive early, greet people politely, dress appropriately, and bring a notebook.
Don't talk too much about your old job, overshare personal details, or act like you know everything.
And please don't try to be the office comedian right away. Save the risky jokes for later.
Great point. Instead, focus on small talk. On day one, you'll have a lot of little 5-minute conversations.
Safe topics are how long someone's been at the company, what they like about working there, or even lunch spots nearby.
Just avoid politics, religion, or anything too personal. Keep it light.
Exactly. And if you're shy, here's a trick. Just ask questions. People love talking about themselves.
My go-to line is, "So, what's your role here?" It's simple, but it gets people talking.
And those small chats are the foundation of future connections.
Speaking of connections, let's talk about lunch, the most underrated part of the first day.
Oh, yes, lunch can feel like a social test. Do you bring your own food? Wait for an invitation? Eat alone?
If colleagues invite you, always say yes, even if you brought lunch. It's about bonding, not food.
And if no one invites you, don't panic. It doesn't mean they don't like you. People often just have their own routines. You can invite someone yourself. "Hey, I'm grabbing lunch. Wanna join?"
Or explore the area. Sometimes even eating alone leads to connections. Someone might join you.
I once ate alone in the cafeteria on day one, and a kind colleague sat with me. That turned into a years-long friendship.
At another job, I got invited to a team lunch and it broke the ice. People were way more relaxed outside the office.
Lunch is basically the unofficial welcome ceremony.
So Mia, let's share some funny disasters.
Oh gosh, okay. On my first day at a media company, I tried to print a document but ended up pressing buttons on the shredder. I was literally trying to print on a shredder for 5 minutes. Everyone laughed and it became my first day nickname.
That's amazing. Mine. I sat at someone else's desk by mistake. It turned out to be the senior designer's spot. She walked in, looked at me and said, "That's my desk." I wanted the ground to swallow me, but she laughed it off.
See, those moments feel awful in the moment, but later they become funny stories.
Exactly. Mistakes often turn into bonding moments.
Which brings us back to confidence. Most people don't feel confident on day one. But you don't have to feel it, you just have to act it.
Yes, stand tall, smile, speak clearly. Fake confidence often turns into real comfort after a few hours.
My trick is repeating people's names out loud when I meet them. Nice to meet you, Sarah. It helps me remember and makes me look engaged.
Writing names in your notebook also helps. Trust me, you won't remember 20 names otherwise.
And when it comes to bosses, first impressions matter a lot. Greet them respectfully. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited to be here. Then ask, what would you like me to focus on this week?
Great line. You know what's funny? No matter how much you prepare, something will almost always go wrong on your first day.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a rite of passage. Everyone has that one embarrassing or awkward moment.
For me, one of the worst was sending an email to the entire company mailing list that just said test. I thought I was only emailing IT. Turns out I emailed 200 people.
Oh no! What happened?
Well, some people ignored it, but a few replied jokingly like, "Looks good, approved." And honestly, it turned into a funny little bonding moment.
That's the perfect example of how mistakes can become icebreakers. I once knocked over an entire cup of coffee onto my new desk. The IT guy had to come replace the keyboard. I thought I'd be fired. Instead, he laughed and said, "Now you're officially part of the team."
Exactly. People don't expect perfection. They expect effort, humility, and recovery.
Right! If you mess up, just acknowledge it, apologize briefly, and move on. No need for a long, dramatic apology. Something like, "Sorry about that, I'll fix it now."
Short and sweet. It shows professionalism.
Speaking of professionalism, one of the biggest relationships on your first day is with your boss.
Definitely. The boss sets the tone. How you interact with them can shape your whole experience.
My advice? Start formal. Say something like, "Good morning, thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited to contribute." That shows gratitude and enthusiasm.
Yes. And then ask clarifying questions. What would you like me to focus on this week? Or, how do you prefer updates? By email, in person, or quick messages?
That's such an important one. Every manager has their own style. Some love detailed written updates, others prefer quick chats. If you match their style, you build trust fast.
And if you make a mistake, don't hide it. Own up quickly. Bosses respect honesty way more than cover-ups.
Absolutely. I once worked with someone who kept hiding small mistakes and eventually they piled up and became a big issue. If they had just admitted them early, it would have been fine.
Exactly. A simple, I missed this detail, but I've corrected it, is so much better than pretending nothing happened.
Another thing worth mentioning is finding a mentor.
Yes. A mentor doesn't have to be your boss. It can be a friendly colleague who explains the unspoken rules.
At my second job, one of my teammates took me under her wing. She showed me how to use the systems, introduced me to people, and even explained silly little things like how to book a meeting room.
I had the same experience. A senior colleague once pulled me aside and said, "Here's a quick glossary of our internal jargon." That single gesture saved me weeks of confusion.
And mentors often become long-term friends or allies. The key is to approach someone politely. "I'm still learning. Would you mind if I checked in with you from time to time?" Most people say yes because it's flattering.
Absolutely. And here's another challenge. Tricky personalities on day one.
Oh, yes. Sometimes you meet people who are cold, busy, or even a little intimidating.
If someone barely looks up when you introduce yourself, don't take it personally. Just say, "Hi, I'll let you get back to your work. We can catch up later." It shows respect for their time.
Exactly. If someone comes off a bit harsh, keep calm and professional. Say, "Thanks for pointing that out. I'll make a note." That disarms their sharpness.
And if someone tries to gossip, avoid getting sucked in. Just smile and say, "I'm still just getting to know how things work here. I'll need a little more time before I understand."
Perfect. Stay neutral. On day one, the last thing you want is to be pulled into office politics.
Speaking of politics, here's a tip. Keep your small talk safe. Sports, food, weekend plans, or local recommendations are great. Stay away from controversial stuff.
Yes, and remember, sometimes silence doesn't mean dislike. People might just be busy, introverted, or cautious around new hires. Don't overthink it.
Great point. At one of my jobs, I thought nobody liked me because they barely spoke to me on day one. Turns out they were just shy. By week 2, they were super friendly.
Same here. People often need time.
Now let's talk about remote jobs, because first days are totally different when you're not physically in the office.
Yes! Instead of worrying about shoes, you're worrying about your webcam and mic.
Haha, exactly. Step 1 is to test your tech. Make sure your camera works, your mic is clear, and your internet is stable. Nothing feels worse than fumbling with Zoom for 10 minutes on your first call.
Step 2 is presence. In a physical office, people notice you. In remote work, you have to make yourself visible. Speak up in meetings, even if it's just to say, "Hi everyone, I'm excited to join the team."
And fill out your profile. Upload a friendly photo, add a short bio, something like, "New to the team, coffee enthusiast, here to learn." It makes you more approachable.
Another great move is to schedule short one-on-one chats with teammates. Just 15 minutes. "Hi, I'd love to learn more about your role and how we might work together."
That's such a good one. It makes people feel valued, and it builds connections fast.
And don't skip virtual coffee chats or social calls. They might feel awkward, but they're the online version of lunch breaks.
Exactly. Those casual moments are where real relationships form.
Let's do some role-play examples to help listeners know exactly what to say.
Okay, scenario 1. Meeting your boss online.
Script: Hi, manager's name. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm really excited to get started. For today, is there anything specific you'd like me to focus on?
Perfect. Scenario 2. Meeting a colleague in the virtual kitchen chat.
Script: Hi, I'm new here. I just joined his role. What's your role? Follow-up: Any advice for a newcomer?
Scenario 3. Struggling with a new system.
I'm not familiar with this tool yet. Could you point me to a guide or give me a quick tip?
Scenario 4. Someone invites you to lunch or a virtual coffee, but you're exhausted.
Script: Thanks so much for the invite. I'd love to join another time. I just need to recharge today.
That's the thing. Clear, polite language keeps you professional but also human.
Yes, and language matters. The way you phrase things shapes how people see you.
Another thing worth touching on is the fear of not fitting in. That's probably the number one worry.
True. People often expect instant belonging, but fitting in takes weeks, sometimes months. Day one is just the beginning.
Exactly. Give yourself permission to be new. You're not supposed to know everything yet.
That's why patience is so important. Be patient with yourself and with others. Everyone you meet was once the new person too.
And here's some comfort. People usually want you to succeed. They remember their own first days and most will be supportive.
Yes, that's why kindness is such a superpower on day one. A smile, a thank you, or a simple, "How's your day going?" goes further than you think.
Friendships often start from tiny gestures. At one of my jobs, a colleague picked up my dropped pen and said, "Welcome to the team." That was the start of a friendship that lasted years.
I once got lost trying to find the restroom and ended up in the server room. An engineer found me and said, "Well, you discovered the heart of the company." That awkward moment became an inside joke between us.
That's beautiful. Awkwardness often becomes connection.
Exactly. So listeners, don't stress about mistakes. They're not career-ending, they're memory-making.
Absolutely. And remember, the first day is just planting seeds. The real growth happens in the weeks and months that follow.
Couldn't have said it better.
You know, Mia, we've covered the nerves, the mistakes, the lunches, the greetings, all of that. But I think people forget that the first day is just the opening chapter.
Exactly. The real story is in what comes after. Because surviving day one is important, but thriving in the weeks and months that follow is what truly shapes your career.
I used to think that if I messed up on day one, my reputation was ruined forever. But that's not true. What people really remember is how consistent you are over time.
Same here. I look back at my first jobs and laugh at how much I stressed about small things like what pen to use or whether my lunchbox looked professional enough.
Haha, I did the same. I once spent 10 minutes deciding between two pens because I wanted to look organized. Nobody noticed.
Exactly. People don't care about those tiny details. They care about your attitude. Are you kind, curious, and reliable?
And reliability is huge. If you say you'll do something and you actually follow through, people will trust you. That trust builds faster than any flashy first day moment.
Yes! And that's why the first 90 days matter so much. Day 1 is the seed, but the next 3 months are when the roots grow.
Let's break it down for our listeners. Day 1, just show up, smile, and observe. Week 1, learn names, learn systems, and ask good questions. By the end of week 1, have a short check-in with your boss to make sure you're aligned.
Then in month 1, focus on being reliable. Finish small tasks on time, take notes, and show that you're dependable. Don't try to prove you're a genius. Just prove you can be trusted.
Month 2 is when you start contributing ideas. Not huge changes, but little suggestions. Like, hey, I noticed this file is used often. Should we keep a shortcut on the shared drive? Small improvements that show you're engaged.
And by month 3, you should be asking for feedback. Say to your manager, I'd love to hear how I'm doing so far, what's going well, and what should I work on. That shows maturity and growth.
Yes, by the end of 90 days, you want people to say, this person is dependable, approachable, and adds value. That's the goal.
And the way you reach that goal is through curiosity and kindness. If you stay curious, asking questions, learning new things, and if you stay kind, thanking people, helping others, you'll naturally fit in.
Couldn't agree more. But let's get real again. What about when you don't fit in right away? What if you feel out of place?
That's so common. I remember one job where everyone seemed super close already and I felt like the outsider. At first, I thought they didn't like me, but then I realized they'd just known each other for years. It wasn't about me.
Yes, sometimes we make it personal, but it's not. It just takes time to build relationships.
Exactly. And you don't need to force it. Small, consistent gestures, saying hi, joining coffee breaks, asking about someone's weekend, that's how friendships grow.
At one company, my first real friend came from a silly moment. I spilled water on the floor and a colleague helped me clean it up. We laughed and that turned into daily chats.
I love that. For me, it was a shared elevator ride. I joked about pressing the wrong floor button and the person laughed and said, "Happens to me all the time." That small exchange started a friendship.
So to wrap up, be punctual, be observant, be approachable, don't chase perfection, build relationships, and think long term.
And most importantly, curiosity and kindness. Those 2 traits will carry you through not just the first day, but your whole career.
Thank you for joining us today.
Don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend, and tell us your funniest first day story. We'd love to hear it.
Until next time, good luck with your new beginnings.
Bye, everyone!